Will a chance reconciliation with her father, Batman, make all the difference to Helena Wayne, or will it only end up making things harder in her battle to save time? Well, let's hop into the pages of Justice Society of America, issue number 6, and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, picking up from where the last issue left off, and I know that feels like 100 years ago by now, Huntress had thrown all good sense to the wind and decided to track down her father, Batman, in Gotham City. She planned to tell him everything, and not just about her time-traveling battle against Perdegaton, but also about the death of his future wife Catwoman, and even how he will one day be murdered by a man he hasn't even met yet by the name Bill Jensen. Why? Because as Helena puts it, what's the point of even traveling through time if you're not gonna bother trying to make things better? At first, Batman is happy to meet this time-traveling child of his, but eventually his mood changes. He understands Helena doing everything in her power to try and save her team, and even her mother from a time-traveling villain like Perdegaton, but even Batman knows that his death is almost certainly set in stone, and any attempt to change it could have any number of horrible butterfly effects on time and space. Though, at the same time, Batman admits that he would be a little bit of a hypocrite to try and punish or admonish Helena right now, considering that he also moved heaven and earth to try and save his multiversal father, Flashpoint Thomas Wayne, in a Time Master snow globe. And hey, wouldn't you know it, once again the snow globe is at the center of everything, as Madame Xanadu and the rest of the appearing JSA are sure to reiterate to Batman and his daughter that the snow globe is more than just something that can trap time paradoxes. It's also an incredibly powerful totem. Unfortunately, before they can really talk this one out any further, Perdegaton ends up showing up and attacking everyone all at once. Again, he has learned from his defeat in the previous issue, and as such he makes full use of his omnipresent abilities, appearing everywhere all at once across time. And now you might be asking yourself, how do you defeat a guy who can literally be everywhere at once? Well, the answer is you cheat by using just a little bit of magic. Stargirl and her team are actually sent on a mission to track down Perdegaton's old World War II lab so that they can find one of his personal effects and better create a spell to counteract everything he's doing. We also ever so briefly catch a glimpse of what Perdegaton plans to do to the past, present, and future by deleting the JSA and replacing them with different versions of himself. This also means that Perdegaton can really only exist in places and times where the JSA themselves exist. He is himself, after all, a living time paradox who has basically hitched his anchor to his most hated enemies. Man, first Eobard Thawne, now this guy, Jeff Johns, really does love creating villains that are omnipresent time paradoxes, yeah? In the previous issue, I mentioned too that poor Khalid and the Dr. Fates had really been getting it hard in this series, basically offered up on platters to die to help ratchet up the drama. Well, don't worry though, because Khalid actually ends up getting his win back in a major way this issue by using the snow globe in conjunction with his own magical powers to end up opening a rift in time that allows the JSA of the past and future to join forces with the JSA of the modern day. It's a regular who's who all together, all fighting on the same side, many of which we had actually seen die horribly at the hands of Perdegaton earlier on in the series. This ends up making all the difference in the world, as the good guys now finally have the raw numbers to checkmate Perdegaton across the board. They can't really defeat him though, because as I mentioned, he's a living, breathing time paradox. But again, this is where that lucky Time Master snow globe ends up coming on in real clutch. They can't destroy Perdegaton, but they sure as hell can trap him in the Flashpoint Beyond universe. Meaning that Thomas Wayne, Batman, Joker, Martha, and Dent Robin can whoop this guy's ass for the foreseeable future. Doing this ends up winning the day, but unfortunately it has some rather unforeseen side effects, as monkeying around with time and space often do. Helena managed to rescue her team, but unfortunately in doing so, she ended up deleting her entire timeline, meaning she now officially has no future home to go home to anymore. Now you'd think this might actually be a blessing in disguise, because it officially means that Helena and Bruce finally have time to be together and make up for all the years they lost, only Bruce kinda can't stand to look at her right now. Probably not because of anything in particular she did, but because Bruce is now blaming himself for his own monkeying with time now that he realizes how wrong all of it could have gone. And hey, because this is your daughter from the future and you technically raised her, you probably missed a couple parenting lessons on this one, and if you didn't, maybe she wouldn't be in this predicament right now. The problem ends up getting kicked down the hill basically to the JSA, who similarly wonder what the hell they're going to do with Huntress now that she's stuck in this time and this place. place. They think they might have to go to the Time Masters, but they know doing so would be a really awkward-ass conversation, as the JSA have basically been giving them nothing but one giant headache for a couple years now, and hey, case in point, it's at that very moment Judy Garrick, long-lost daughter of Jay Garrick, along with the robotic time-traveling Our Man 1 Million make the scene. They think they might actually have the secret to helping Huntress out as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Justice League of America issue number 6, everybody, and overall, while I certainly enjoyed the finale to this opening arc, I couldn't help but feel that the whole thing ended incredibly quickly and incredibly easily, especially considering all of the different layers within layers that it looked like Jeff Johns was setting up in the very beginning. Obviously, this story isn't the last we'll be seeing of the JSA or the new Golden Age. We're getting spin-offs, this book is continuing, etc., etc. But there's just a lot that feels unfinished here. They set Prodegaton up as this unstoppable force who can literally kill heroes within a microsecond just by looking at them, and yet here he's defeated in no time. Likewise, hey, didn't they set up Dr. Fate's old forgotten sidekick Salem the Witch Girl as a secret evil mole within the heroes? What happened to that? It also looks like Stargirl and Joaquin Thunder were gonna fight the little kid version of Prodegaton, but then that just never happens. It really feels like there's a whole issue missing in the middle here, doesn't it? I suppose if nothing else, I did actually get my answer on how exactly Jeff Johns was going to square the circle that is this new Huntress Helena Wayne's future, and the answer is he was just gonna delete it and leave her in the present. The implication is pretty compelling, though, that this new version of Huntress is part of a very small and exclusive club within the DC universe of walking, talking time abnormalities, including herself, Prodegaton, Power Girl Karen Starr, and even the original walking, talking Paradox Eobard Thawne the Reverse Flash. I imagine that'll probably lead to a story later down the line, but like I said, it's later. Overall, though, I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7 out of 10. It's probably not the big bombastic finale I was expecting, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Now, here's hoping that the next arc doesn't take forever to release each issue. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.